back, everyone, to the final credits. This evening, we're going to be talking about a movie that a lot of us have been looking forward to for one reason or another. That movie, of course, being Renfield. Going into it, I was excited, I was hopeful, I was ready for everything about it. Coming out of it, I don't know why. These guys thought that I wasn't gonna like it. Something happened in the movie. I was hyped the entire time. It was amazing. Oh my god, the narration, the effects. I've been waiting days to talk about this movie, guys. Listen to me. You had me on a leash, but now I get to talk about it. Now I get to do things, and now everything's gonna happen. Oh my god.
First of all, the only reason why we thought you didn't like the movie is because you gave an Oscar performance walking out of that theater, acting like there was something wrong.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
We were all looking at each other like he's awfully silent. Like, do you think something's wrong?
Too silent.
I was
and then you burst into all emotion
in a public area. If I would have let out like how he did right now, they'd call the man in the paddy wagon.
Give this dog a bone.
Grim, on something you said in the short that I want you to expand on here. You said the king is back. The king is back. Please go right ahead.
So I'm not even going to say for a while now, but we've seen Nicolas Cage in a lot of movies to the point where he's kind of created his own style, a style I like to call the Looney Tune. Yes, that's right. When a man actually encompasses all that is a Looney Tune and puts it into a performance. Who else can shoot someone out of an airplane and shrug their shoulders like, wop, wop, wop? Who else can do that? Who else can actually summon fire from hell and scream that he's screaming in the dark over and over again? Oh my goodness. Who else can actually make it believable to grow their hair in that short of a time and say, in an intimidating way as possible, put the bunny back in the box? No one except Nicolas Cage, because my god, okay, getting back on track now for a second. In all seriousness, Nicolas Cage as Dracula, some are going to say, no, absolutely not. No, this is dumb. This is stupid. Why would you do this?
No.
We don't care about those people. What we care about is the performance, because Nicolas Cage put on so Gouda American cheese that we all love for Dracula, and it shined through. Just him smiling at Renfield, him just conversing with Renfield, him wanting to take over the world and flying up and just biting people. Not even drinking their blood, just biting people.
He's just eating people.
Yeah.
He's eating their jugulars.
Yeah.
He likes the jugular.
Oh.
The thing about Nick Cage is that if he's the king of anything, I think he's the king of black comedies. Like, people don't realize that. Like, in any other Dracula movie, he probably wouldn't have been as good of a casting as he was in this particular movie. Just the tone of like how Renfield was. Like, it was just all like, yeah, it was bloody, it was gory, but it was still kind of, we just did a review on Cocaine Bear. This was the kind of entertainment with bloody murder that I was expecting out of that movie that we actually got in this movie.
There was so much blood. I didn't expect it to be that much.
It was anime. It was like Kill Bill anime levels of blood. It was insane. But the type of humor that was attached to it, there was no better person to cast for Dracula in this movie than Nicolas Cage, and he freaking delivered. Like,
but there was a storyline. That's the thing, though. It was actually story driven. Aside, like that whole drug kingpin, the mafia.
That was a side plot.
Yeah,
like that was the worst part of the movie. If you just gave me the movie with Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult, the movie was perfect. It was great. It was they were bouncing off each other. It was so awesome to see that. Oh, and then Aquafina shows up, and you're like,
Aquafina wasn't that bad, but like
No.
that's what I say
I
about her in every movie she's in. Like in Shang-Chi, she wasn't that bad, but she wasn't the high point of that movie by any
Yeah,
means.
but Johnny,
Same
that's
thing
not
here.
a good thing either, though, because
it's not.
if you're
It's
just
not.
at like this level without going up or down, that's
Yeah.
really not good either, though. So I get exactly what Spade is trying to say in this. Was she god awful? No, she wasn't.
Right.
But she wasn't. She didn't help anything either.
She wasn't
was there.
necessary.
No.
She
Yes,
wasn't necessary
thank
to
you.
the story.
I'll say
And like,
this about-
were they platonic or not? Because like when they first meet each other, they're all doe-eyed. He shows up with her to give her flowers and shit.
Mhm.
And then by the end of the movie, they're just kind of like, we're buddy cop now. Like
No.
it just I don't
This
know.
is something I
That's
did
what I'm
actually.
saying.
No,
She made
this
no
is
sense.
something I wanted to address actually since seeing the movie. I actually did want to talk about this because it does seem in a lot of movies that you do see boy meets girl, and because movie laws and logic and everything, they have to hook up by the end of the movie, which
Right.
I don't necessarily agree with. In this one, though, I'm happy that we didn't get the hookup, but at the same time, it's like, oh, I mean, she did kind of bring him out of like all of his toxic
Right.
like
It's
habits.
they
and
were
everything.
leading up to it, but they
Yeah.
didn't give it to you. It's like, here's your food. Nah, just joking. We're gonna run away.
Yeah.
To your dinner.
It's like pick one. You know, I agree with what you're saying. Like, I think it is a good thing of her character to bring him out of that, dark place that he was coming from. But
Mhm.
if you guys started at like an attraction level relationship and you went through all that, you're gonna like maybe not fall in love, but something's gonna happen out of that.
Mhm.
It just didn't really feel right that nothing did come out of that, like given where they started and where they ended up at the end of the movie.
I'll say this about her. I'll give her a little more credit than what Spade is saying. She still had her funny comedy moment, telling her coworker Kyle to shut up.
That's all
but
she did.
She had become the running joke.
Well, hold on. She was the serious, straight character with the storyline with her dad getting killed, her sister, getting kidnapped, and she had the somewhat serious storyline, the straight character, which helped level out the crazy horror comedy that we were watching, and she had good on-screen chemistry with Nicholas Hoult. I think she did I think she's better
I
here
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but like because there is like a sort of mirror relationship going on. Like what she's going through is kind of like what Nicholas Hoult is going through as Renfield. But her story was a lot messier. I felt like she had the dynamic with her sister,
but at the same
and the history with her dad, and it didn't really, her sister became like the damsel in distress by the end of the movie, and everything. It just didn't. Nothing came out of it. That
And her sister was the FBI agent. Like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Like,
just a lot of it didn't feel necessary.
if we could switch gears for a quick moment, and Grim, I want you to respond to this. The intro to the movie, with the beginning being the spirit,
Okay.
in a way, the spiritual sequel.
No, stop. Okay.
he said, "Shut up, pancakes."
Okay. I'm not going to give anything away, but the editing job that they did over certain scenes from the past with both Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult were phenomenal. They were it brought me right back to me being a fan of this classic monster genre instantly. I was a kid again watching Bela Lugosi on screen for the first time.
Yes.
And it
100%.
was it right there. I said to myself, "Oh, good Lord. I hope it's not, but this is the high point of the movie." And it just kept challenging itself higher and higher. And it was after the movie, I needed a cigarette. I'm not a smoker, but I feel like I just need to roll over in bed and just have a cigarette and just light up. And
I think that's what the beauty of this movie was, is that, it was unlike any other Dracula film we've ever gotten before, but you could tell the people who made this movie were huge Dracula fans, like huge fans of like the movies that came before. Yeah. There's a lot of like appreciation to, where this
there was a lot of mythology that was put into it,
yes.
Yes.
Are we doing spoiler free or what are we doing?
No. Okay. Spade, I know exactly what you're talking about. This one scene, I think we could talk about because it is just one scene. And
Well,
this,
is it imperative to the story?
no,
No.
it's not.
So we can talk about it.
I'm going to bring up the scene. So there is one part where Renfield is out food shopping. Things have happened. Things are, we're out of the honeymoon stage, if you will. And Dracula has decided to hunt down Renfield. Now, Dracula does follow all the classic vampire trope rules. Crucifixes, holy water. More importantly, needs to be invited indoors. Now, when Renfield walks into his new digs and sees that Dracula is sitting at the table sipping on a nice chalice of wine, he realizes, oh, master, how, and is just shocked, looks outside, and sees a welcome mat saying, welcome, come on in. And it took me a second to realize this, and I just said, this is genius. Oh my god. That done. I love this movie. This is honestly up there with Dungeons and Dragons, Mario, and Creed 3 for me.
I have to agree.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was that well done of a movie. I think the only thing bringing it down, like we said before, was the whole Aquafina arc. Like, you know,
that's it. Other than that, this movie was phenomenal. It was great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like this was better than other Marvel movies probably coming out later than this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
Better than Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
1000% yes.
I couldn't be happier to be so wrong about this movie. It was nowhere in my most anticipated movies. I said it should be a Netflix movie, etc. And like I said in the short, you know, it's totally worth the movie going experience. Pay for the ticket. Watching it on your TV at home doesn't do it justice. It was that great of a visual to experience in person. And my favorite part was the relationship between Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage, that struggle of an abusive relationship that drove the whole movie. Like, so freaking good.
Yeah, totally agreed. I was going to say the same thing. I mean, I'm not, without giving a score to review this movie, I mean, I'm telling you, the viewer right now, this is a movie you see in theaters. See it while it's still in theaters. You get just a classic movie experience. Yeah.
Spend the $15, spend the $20, do what you will, but this needs to be appreciated.
Go on a Sunday morning, get a matinee, pay $5, whatever it is.
Get the early bird special. Wake up early for once in your lives.
Yes.
Get a ticket and watch it, folks. That's it. That's all we can tell you. It was just that enjoyable.
For now, I don't know about these guys, but I want to know what you guys have to think. That's right, you watching this review right now. I want you to like. I want you to comment. I want you to subscribe. I also want you to hit the notification bell. I know it's 4 things, but it would help us out a lot if you did, okay?
And see this movie.
And also see the movie for the
and also tell me and also tell me how much I'm right, because it was part of my top 5 most anticipated. And
yeah, same with me. All right, thanks.
I did pretty good.
Until then, roll credits. We're out.
Roll credits.